Have you ever stood in the pitch-black darkness, waiting for something you can't explain? In the heart of Arkansas, nestled along a lonely stretch of railroad tracks, near the small town of Gurdon, lies a mystery that has baffled locals and intrigued ghost hunters for nearly a century. This is the story of the Gurdon Light. Imagine this, a dense wooded area, the air thick with the smell of pine and damp earth. The only sound is the chirping of crickets and the distant rustle of leaves. You're standing on the old Missouri Pacific Railroad tracks, a place where history feels heavy, almost tangible. Then, you see it, a faint ethereal glow, floating in the distance. It sways gently, sometimes white, sometimes blue, sometimes an eerie orange. It seems to bob and weave, moving toward you, then retreating, as if playing a ghostly game of hide-and-seek. This is the Gurdon Light, a phenomenon that defies easy explanation. The most famous legend tied to this mysterious light dates back to the early 1930s. The story goes that a railroad foreman, Will McClain, was involved in a heated dispute with one of his workers, a man named Louis McBride. The argument, supposedly over union organizing or work procedures, took a dark and violent turn. In a fit of rage, McBride allegedly murdered McClain with a railroad spike maul. To cover his tracks, he dismembered the body and buried the pieces along the railway. The haunting light, they say, is the spectral lantern of Foreman McClain's ghost, forever searching for his missing head along the very tracks where he met his gruesome end. It's a chilling tale, and for many who've seen the light, it feels all too real. This story gained such traction that Louis McBride was eventually arrested, tried, and convicted for the murder, though some say the evidence was circumstantial. He was executed in 1932, but even with the supposed killer brought to justice, the light didn't disappear. It continued to appear, night after night, its silent vigil a constant reminder of the tragedy. But that's not the only story. Another popular tale paints a different, but equally tragic, picture. This version speaks of a railroad worker who accidentally fell onto the tracks in the dead of night. Before he could get up, a train came roaring through, and he was decapitated in the horrific accident. Now, his spirit wanders the rails, carrying a lantern, endlessly searching for his lost head. When you see the light swinging back and forth, they say it's the ghost of the brakeman, looking left and right, desperately trying to find what he lost. These legends are powerful, and they add a layer of human tragedy to the phenomenon. They transform a simple, strange light into a story of loss, betrayal, and an eternal, restless search. It's what draws people here, to this remote spot, hoping to witness the supernatural for themselves. But what if the answer isn't supernatural at all? As you might expect, scientists and skeptics have proposed a few theories to explain the Gurdon Light. One of the most popular scientific explanations is the piezoelectric effect. The area around Gurdon sits on a large deposit of quartz crystals. The theory suggests that the constant pressure and stress on these underground crystals, caused by the shifting of the New Madrid fault line which runs through the region, generates an electrical charge. This charge could then be released into the atmosphere, ionizing the air and creating a visible glow. It's a fascinating idea, geological forces creating a ghost light. Another plausible theory points to swamp gas. The area surrounding the railroad tracks is swampy and low-lying. Decomposing organic matter, like fallen leaves and dead plants, releases gases like methane and phosphine. When these gases come into contact with the air, they can sometimes spontaneously ignite, creating a flickering, moving flame. This would explain why the light seems to dance and change color, and why it appears in a marshy, remote area. It's less romantic than a ghost story, but it's a common explanation for similar mystery lights around the world. Then, there's the simplest explanation of all: car headlights. The railroad tracks run roughly parallel to Interstate 30 and Highway 67. Skeptics argue that what people are seeing are simply the headlights of distant cars and trucks, refracted and distorted by atmospheric conditions like heat inversions or humidity. This could make the lights appear to float, sway, and change color, fooling the eye into thinking it's something otherworldly. The terrain, with its hills and valleys, could cause the lights to appear and disappear as vehicles travel along the highway. But eyewitnesses are quick to debunk these theories. They'll tell you the light has been seen since long before the interstate was built. They'll tell you it appears even on perfectly still nights, when there's no wind to move swamp gas around. They'll tell you it moves in ways that car headlights just can't, bobbing up and down. darting into the woods, and sometimes even getting incredibly close to observers before vanishing into thin air. Many have tried to chase it, only to have it elude them every time. One of the most compelling aspects of the Gurdon Light is the sheer volume of first-hand accounts. Generations of residents from Gurdon and surrounding towns have their own stories. They remember going out to the tracks as teenagers, a rite of passage, daring each other to wait for the light. They describe the thrill and the fear of seeing it for themselves. These aren't just old legends passed down. They are personal experiences shared by hundreds, if not thousands, of people over the decades. In the 1970s, the Gurdon Light even gained national attention, appearing on the popular TV show Unsolved Mysteries. The segment brought investigators and paranormal researchers to the small Arkansas town, and their footage seemed to confirm that something was indeed out there. They captured a mysterious, distant light on camera that they couldn't explain. This exposure cemented the Gurdon Light's place in the pantheon of great American ghost stories. Today, the site remains a destination for the curious. If you decide to visit, be warned. The tracks are on private property, and it can be dangerous, but the allure is undeniable. People still gather on dark, moonless nights, their flashlights cutting through the darkness, their voices hushed with anticipation. They're all there for the same reason, to see if the legends are true. So, what is the Gurdon Light? Is it the tormented spirit of a murdered railroad foreman, forever searching for his head with a spectral lantern? Is it a natural, albeit rare, scientific phenomenon, a product of stressed crystals or burning swamp gas? Or is it simply a trick of the light, an optical illusion caused by distant headlights on a lonely highway? Perhaps the truth is a mix of all these things, or maybe it's something we haven't even considered. The beauty of a mystery like the Gurdon Light is that it forces us to question the world around us, to wonder about the line between the known and the unknown. The stories give it a soul, the science gives it a potential explanation, but the experience itself, standing on those dark tracks, watching a phantom light dance in the distance, is something that stays with you. The lack of a definitive answer is what keeps the legend alive. It allows each person who sees it to come to their own conclusion. For the believers, it's proof that there's more to this world than what we can see and touch. For the skeptics, it's a fascinating puzzle to be solved. But for everyone who has made the journey to that lonely stretch of track, it's an unforgettable encounter with one of Arkansas's most enduring mysteries. The light continues to shine, a silent beacon in the dark woods, inviting us all to look, to wonder, and to believe, or not. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of an American legend. If you've ever seen the Gurdon Light, or have a story about a mysterious phenomenon in your own hometown, share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. Until next time, keep exploring.